Welcome to part 3 of the Metroid Zero Mission Commentary, ladies and gentlemen. A quick question, have you guys ever seen the conceptual stages of Zero Mission?
Nope.
Like beta?
Zero Mission began life as almost strictly a graphical update of the original Metroid. Like, Samus's sprite was just an updated version of her Metroid 1 sprite. I'm talking gargantuan head, noodle limbs, and I think that was about it. I think Kraid also had a slightly different design where he was still rocking his Super Metroid size, but he was definitely packing on more face weight, if that makes any sense. If you guys ever get the chance, I encourage you to look it up because it's pretty interesting to see, but I'm also glad it didn't get any farther than that.
That just sounds like a bad idea. Oh, you can... Oh, that's how you get that goddamn super missile tank. Okay.
Now you see, here's the plot twist at the end of that version of Zero Mission, though. She takes off her armor when you get 100%, and you find out she's not a woman. She is, in fact, an alien.
Yeah.
She's a noodle person, designed by Studio Clamp.
No, she removes the big-ass orange helmet, and inside that helmet is our actual suit. Adam was right, this was stupid.
Samus, you're not authorized to be a noodle person.
I will never doubt you again. Oh my god.
No, you see, that's why she respects him so much. He saved her from a horrible fate.
Yeah, you did save me from that stupid costume. I owe you my life.
That's the one problem with Other M that I just couldn't get past, was that I had no reason to like that guy at all. I was just supposed to accept that he was someone to respect because Samus respected him. And so many stories do that with characters, it bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah, I can understand that too, and unfortunately it does kind of undermine Fusion in that way when you see how he really is in Other M, unfortunately. Because I loved Adam in
I
Metroid
hate,
Fusion.
and can I just say that is the worst, when something retroactively diminishes the quality of another game.
Well, here's the thing, okay? You don't see how Adam really is. That's the problem. You learn fucking nothing about the guy in Other M, even though it's supposed to be his fucking origin story.
But that's the thing, though. I don't like what I see in Other M, so
by extension, you care less. You care less about the guy behind the computer voice in Fusion because the lack of actual development in Other M diminishes the sense of mystery that you got from Fusion.
You know what, though? I think the way Other M is set up, it's not really like, because this is Samus and Adam interacting after Samus had left the army, so like they had some tension there. I think if we really wanted to get why Samus respected Adam, we'd need to see her in the Galactic Federation, and honestly, I don't think that would be an interesting Metroid game.
Actually, it could be a potentially very interesting Metroid game,
well,
but here's the thing:
I'd say
it only works
from a story perspective, but maybe not from a gameplay one.
You could set it up similar to Fusion.
You know what? They should have fucking did that instead of this Federation Force game that they're doing now.
Federation Force, I still think it's going to look okay. I think that what they need to do is say, we're working on a real Metroid game, and then people won't be so angry about it.
Yeah.
Because if they came out with Federation Force in, like, 2009, when Prime games had already come out pretty regularly, I don't think anybody would be complaining.
You know what, though? I'm kind of kicking myself in the foot here that I didn't mention this during that direct impressions. I was shocked to not see any Federation Force footage.
I thought it was going to be there too, so you're not the only one.
Am I the only one that takes that as a foreboding sign?
I think what the reason for that is they took the negative impressions to heart and aren't going to make a big deal out of it until they have more to show Metroid fans.
Yeah, my prediction is that they are working on a more traditional Metroid game, be that a regular Prime game, a 2D game, something like Other M in control scheme but not in story or design, something more Metroid-y, and then they're going to show that off before really trying to push Federation Force anymore, because again, I don't think anybody would be, oh my god, you already have the screw attack. You're not supposed to get this until after you beat Ridley.
And just like that, we're finally back on topic.
Yeah. See, there is a second method of getting the screw attack that the developers put in there. There are 4 missile blocks right below the door, the entryway to the screw attack room. And if you know it's there, you can get screw attack now. You don't have to wait until Ridley.
You know what? You're actually right, because I think you can, for like a split second, see that they're missile blocks before you destroy them with the screw attack.
Yeah.
So you'll be like, hey, wait a second, because like right before you collide with them, the screw attack like reveals what kind of destructible block they are. I think is how it works. So you'll be like, wait a minute, I could have gotten this earlier. The hell game.
Yeah.
This is very strange.
There are a few items like that. The super missile, the first super missile tank that I got, for instance.
Yeah, but you also have to do an obnoxious goddamn shine spark in order to get that.
But yeah, again, like if you know what you're doing, you can get some items earlier than what they intended to, because you're not supposed to get super missiles until you defeat the insect monster. I forgot the name.
Man, I just love how many missile packs that they throw into these games, because by the end of the game, if you're getting everyone that you run across, you have more missiles than you'll ever need. Like,
I'm always super conservative with missiles in Metroid, so I'll have like 200, and I'm like,
well,
I'm gonna use them.
I'm conservative toward the beginning, but only toward the beginning, because once you start pushing 50 missiles, you basically don't need to hold back anymore.
Well, also
I pretty much use them exclusively for bosses.
That's how I generally do it too.
Missiles are, if you're going out of your way for missile expansions, they are your go-to projectile, because they are the most powerful thing in this game. Just to whip out the numbers here for a second, missiles do 20 damage.
Okay.
Beams, I think, start, like, your default beam, I think, starts at 1. And every beam after that adds 1 to your beam strength. So by the end of the I think charge is pretty strong, but not as good as missiles.
I thought that a charge beam was roughly equal to the strength.
Not in Zero Mission. In fact, the charge beam got a downgrade from Fusion.
I could have sworn that in Fusion it was about the same.
No, the charge beam in Fusion was ridiculous.
Oh, it was stronger than missiles in Fusion.
it was stronger with how much you can get away with the charge beam. Like and I think I may have showed this off during the Fusion commentary, but the charge beam.
John, we already did Fusion.
We did, yeah, I don't know, but during the Fusion commentary, I demonstrated how powerful the charge beam was if you knew how to position yourself when using it. Because the initial charge beam, when you shot it, there was a little flare that emitted from Samus's arm cannon. That right there did damage on every frame, and that meant killing everything pretty much.
Wait, yeah, you could inflict touch damage on the enemy.
Yeah,
revenge.
Yeah, pretty much. But the charge beam in Zero Mission, they neutered in some regards. It's not as powerful as it was in Fusion, if memory serves me correctly, and it just doesn't have as much utility. So missiles are your go-to, and you get them. Well, they're one of your first items you get in the game.
Can I just say, people focus a lot on the really iconic stylized bosses like Ridley or the Bounty Hunters in Prime 3 maybe, but I really like those just random big-ass monsters that are really disgusting and eerie and alien that you run into at random throughout the game too.
Yeah.
They're all added for Zero Mission, because none of those were in the original Metroid, and I think that they add a lot to the game.
The original Metroid could not have pulled off that kind of gross factor.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think it could. I don't think they had the creative chops back then.
Well, they were also still trying to figure out what this new idea they'd come up with even was.
Yeah. All we do know is that the space dinosaur has to be named Ridley.
Wait, why are you leaving? Oh, I remember. You have to go out of Ridley in order to go back into Ridley. That tripped me up the first time.
You have to see the cocoon in order to trigger the Imago fight. That's the name of the insect. I looked it up in between.
Yeah, so... well, to be fair, Metroid enemy names, I can never remember any of them.
No, I love the series to death. Everyone knows that, but I'll be damned if I remember enemy names. I can't. Unless you're Ridley or Kraid or Mother Brain or SAX.
You know something.
I forget who you are.
You know something, though? The visual style of this game in particular kind of reminds me of another game I played as a kid. Not one that I ever beat, because it was too hard for little old me back then. It's called Flashback. It was Prince of Persia-like. That game had a lot of areas that had this sort of purpley, alien, slimy look to them.
John, I have a question. If you use the super missile tank to get into there early, like the super missiles in general to get in there early, what happens? Like
the green door that I just busted open?
Yeah.
You can skip Imago altogether. If you get super missiles early.
Yeah.
Absolutely no reason to do it unless you're going for 100%. In fact, that's what I do when I'm going for any percent run or low percent if I feel like killing myself.
Oh, the absolute lowest percent is
10%. No. I think it's 9% actually. For Zero Mission.
What do you have to get then?
Like you have to get a missile expansion.
You have to get the morph ball.
You have to get the morph ball. You don't have to get any energy tanks. I think
speed booster probably. Holy shit!
Yeah.
A map room.
I'm getting this map room because I kind of have to. It's in the way of a Shine Spark.
Oh, because you can't just run past it.
I can't run past it. It'll get my Shine Spark.
Yeah.
Samus doesn't know how to prioritize things.
Yeah, that kind of stuff can happen.
It is possible to ignore it with well-timed jumps with the Shine Spark, but I'm not that skilled.
Yeah, so, you'd probably just wind up wasting a little more time if you tried to ignore it. So.
These right here are the most obnoxious expansions in the game. The ones in Ridley.
I didn't know this was here. Of course I didn't know it was here because it's a goddamn Shine Spark only room. So figures.
Well, you have to use Shine Spark in order to gain access to this room. This is just a matter of watching out for the fake blocks and blowing up some missile blocks before the falling blocks below you make you fall through.
That goddamn indecisive pass-through block. It's just like, wait, hold on, no, wait, I'm gonna break again. No, yeah, these were always the most annoying things in the 2D Metroid games. We're trying to get these types of missiles expansions because you end up doing stuff like that where you fall down and you have to go back up.
Yeah, they're puzzles pretty much.
Yeah, puzzles, but at the same time also very finicky platforming challenges.
Yeah.
And there's a certain place in my heart for that kind of shit, but at the same time, when you're actually doing it, it's really goddamn annoying.
I don't mind it as long as they don't involve fake blocks, because fuck fake blocks. I hate fake blocks. They really do. The shit here, the fake block city and Fusion. And,
Simon's Quest.
Simon's Quest was just there's no block.
there's no block, but it looks like one. You mean those annoying blocks where you step on it and you fall down, and then the game's physics don't allow you to properly react once you see it happen? So.
Yeah, at the very least in Metroid, like you have like a few frames to jump and save yourself.
Yeah, but then somehow it rematerializes, so you can't jump back up through it.
No, unless you're in the middle of the block when it reforms, then it automatically disintegrates, so that Samus, I guess, won't get crushed.
I'm gonna be honest, I never liked the rematerializing blocks, the ones that reappear as these squares with rocks in them. Yeah. I never understood what in the context of Metroid are those blocks.
Pass-through blocks.
Yeah, I guess.
No, like what in the context of the universe?
Oh, like in-universe explanation. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, they're very gamey.
They're not just gamey in concept. I'm fine with stuff that's gamey in concept, but you can still sort of understand where they fit in whatever it is you're doing. My problem is it looks gamey to the point of being out of place, like it was pasted in.
John, can't you just wall jump in order to get that?
They're all fake blocks.
Oh, they're all fake blocks?
All fake blocks below you.
Okay,
you fall right through them. Yeah, normally, oh, fuck this one.
Is this the 10-frame jump?
This 3-frame jump.
Oh, really?
It's 3 to 4 frames to get this arc just right. It's all speed booster blocks. And, to save yourself stress when you're not doing this route, I would just wait until you get the space jump. Not so much for this one, you have to have the speed booster no matter what. But for like the other Shine Spark items that I got, it's much easier with the space jump, but it also you're also wasting more time to backtrack all the way over here to get these items.
Yeah, so, whichever stresses you out more is what you want to avoid.
This is more often, like, before this playthrough, my means of 100% in the game was just wait until we get the Chozodia, let me get my fully decked out suit so that I have space jump, and then I'll go back and backtrack all over.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. In this game, since you have to go to get all of the extra stuff in order to get things anyway, you're going to be backtracking all over the place no matter what.
Yeah.
So you're really not adding too much time, or at the very least it doesn't, you might be, like, in terms of, like, raw, but it doesn't feel like you're adding that much time since your mission is backtrack and get all the missile and energy tanks you missed anyway.
There are a lot of items you can get along the way, not as many as for Metroid, I would say, but the difference is whether or not you want to have an easier time getting said item. So do you want to put up with bombing the bomb blocks, which causes a chain reaction, giving you a limited amount of time to get to that missile tank? Or do you want to wait until you get space jump and then you can just say, fuck that, I could just jump all over all this? That's really the difference when it comes to getting items or just 100% in this game in general.
Well, it's not necessarily just about 100%ing the game either. If you get the thing earlier, you have an advantage going forward, and that's always nice.
Well,
true, but there's not much of an advantage to have in Zero Mission because this game is not only short, it's also really easy.
Well, I think it depends on what you're getting, because more, like, it depends on how early you get it, honestly, because, like you were saying, like, the first 50 or so missile tanks you get are all very important, but once you're, like, in the 100 range, the difference between 115 and 120 isn't as important as the difference between 20 and 25. So,
yes,
it's just one of those kinds of things. Like, for me, energy tanks always feel way more worthwhile than missile tanks. The one thing about Zero Mission that annoys me is that you have missiles and super missiles are separate. That has always bugged me because you have to go and press the select button, which is really out of the way on the controller and is stupid.
Yeah,
So,
and Fusion just saved you the trouble by combining them.
Yeah. It was just a straight up upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that you get the thing before you fight Ridley in this version.
Yeah, he really liked that item.
At the very least, it does give you a chance to get the full heal before the boss fight, though, because one of the more annoying things about...
Like Ridley's hard.
Yeah, well, no, Ridley's piss easy in this
game. Yeah, you think I'm joking when I said that Samus took over creative control for one day. This boss fight with Ridley, her arch nemesis, kind of cements that theory in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he's dead.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You just tank his hits and then shoot missiles in his face.
And then Ridley dies in 5 seconds because fuck Ridley, he killed my parents.
Oh, man, you see, the fight takes a little bit longer when you're trying not to get hit because that's your...
He doesn't do near enough damage to warrant dodging.
Well, it's your thing in video games to not want to take damage, you know? It's like a...
Your attacks aren't worth dodging.
You know, that whole sequence where she just looks up, sees Ridley there, and then completely destroys him, it just kind of makes the whole panic attack in Other M look a little unintentionally silly, just on a meta level.
The only thing about the panic attack in Other M, and I know I'm defending this scene, which makes me evil.
Oh, I don't get me wrong. I understand the concept, and I kind of like it. I just think it went on too goddamn long.
I would say that the intention was to make it feel long, because that's kind of what a PTSD attack would feel like to the person who's having it. It's the only thing about it is actually remarkably similar to how PTSD works with, like, in the real world. The only thing is that it doesn't make much sense in the context of Metroid because you fight him so many times. So it's a touchy sort of thing.
Yeah, it's just I feel it would have been more effective at underlining Samus's, fear and animosity of Ridley if it had been less overplayed.
A little bit, yes. I'm not going to say that it was done particularly well. I defend the concept, though, because I think, seeing that kind of thing when you were that young would have an effect on you like that. So,
like in the live-action commercial, they even showed her as a kid, in front of Ridley and stuff.
Yeah, so that's how I phrase it. I defend the concept, not necessarily the execution. So
we've gone 3 Metroid commentaries, all of them mentioning that goddamn PTSD scene.
Well, it's like one of the most I was gonna say iconic things about Other M.
Infamous.
Yeah. Okay. It's one of the biggest things about Other M, and when you're talking Metroid, it's gonna come up. It's like we do a Sonic commentary without mentioning Sonic 06. People are gonna be like, "What?" So
we'll get to that game soon enough.
Eventually.
Soon enough.
I want to play God of War first.
Oh man.